when I tell you all this week, hey Jeremiah, hey Danny, hey Erica, um, Her Majesty, for all of the time that we were together in company with each other, she would not let me not walk around without speaking the title that she bestowed upon me. And we were interviewed multiple times together as a unit. And this is what I had to say. I am Her Excellency Darlaina Rose, Prime Minister of Women's Rights and Empowerment. And I walked in that all weekend. And as I continue to walk in it, more people just came up with willingness to serve. Her Excellency, how can I help? Where can I serve? And it all culminated into last night. I can tell you that I just got in my bed at 4 a.m. And this time, not because I was at work, because I was at God's work. Those folks would not let me leave. And when I tell you the power of the people that I met, this was the 125th. I don't even know how to say what 125 is. It was some long Q word, quasi-essential something, something, something. Um, uh, National Black Business Conference, and it the name has changed. It started as the Black, no, I'm sorry, as the Negro Business League. And over 125 years, it has evolved to the National Black Business Conference. There was so much representation of Black people. There was not many other of any other ethnic race in the building.
Nice.
There was conversations about legacy. In the room, there were the descendants of Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass. And I watched them take the stage and talk about their great, 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 great grandfathers and the legacy that they know that they carry. And listen to them talk unapologetically about what we as Black people should be doing, people of color. I listen to politicians talk about what that actually means when you are looking for money to grow your business. I listen to them talk about the disparity between women owned businesses that are Black, Asian, and white. The statistics were so despairing that it made it, when I say something is about to shift, it shifted. White women, period, are 50% of all businesses that have been created over the last many years. But when they spoke about who Black women, hey, seven, Black women were responsible for about 50 million in revenue in a year, which I said, oh, that's good. So he said Asians, women, were responsible for 100 million in a year. And then he said, white women, 1 trillion in a
Mm-mm.
year.
Yep. Mm-mm.
You say, how is that possible? Why is that happening? And the difference is they don't create businesses like we do. They do not bootstrap. They go get money by any means necessary. They don't stop until somebody says yes. And then they hire people to make them more money. And one of the politicians that spoke was the mayor of McDonough, Georgia. No, I'm sorry. City council from McDonough. And she said, I can tell you, I see that with my constituents. She said her county is 95% black and 5% other. Even in her subdivision of 400 units, there's only one white family. And she said, we start businesses selling body butters and, things that we create, which is all well and fine. But how do you scale that? Our counterpart starts businesses in transportation. They start businesses in construction. They start businesses in energy. They just think different. And it's time we do too. I found people that look like me in those industries. There was a woman who spoke who is a multimillionaire because she jumped in to the EV charging market, charging the charging of cars, these electric cars. And she said, I'm very lonely in this space. There's not enough of us, especially not enough women. Then there's a woman who I met who is in the construction space, has been in the construction space for over 30 years. She is a person that gets contracts in the multi-millions of dollars. Her last contract was $33 million for a commercial project. And you know what she said the problem was? That she couldn't find anybody who looked like us who was qualified. We have the skills, but we don't have the accreditation. We don't have the licenses. We don't have people skilled in those vocational spaces that are teaching. And I got a chance to talk to her. She proposed that I get my son here. She proposed him teaching, and she proposed her helping him to get appropriate accreditation so that she could pass along some of these millions of dollars to my family. There is a shift, and it shifted. So much so, the gala that happened after the session yesterday, they told us that the speakers would be comped to come into the gala. And then somewhere in the middle, they said, we oversold it and we're not going to be able to give you your ticket. And of course, it's sold out, so you cannot buy a ticket. So it was my intention I started telling them that I was going to the ungala. And the ungala was going to be me and whoever and the other speakers who had their ticket reneged. And so we had planned to just go to the hotel restaurant, and then we were going to meet back up after the event, after the gala, and go to the rooftop party that they always do, right? And they call it a rooftop, but it really is a sky level, I don't know, 30 something floor um level. And me and another gentleman, Estefanos is in fashion. I have to introduce him to Gwen and Sherry. You will love him so much. He is from South Africa, and he is so matter of fact and so blunt. um Something happened with him getting to the venue. He was in the wrong hotel, whatever, and by the time his segment happened, he had really missed it. He had came in like right at the last 5 minutes, and I asked him, did he want to? I was moderating it. I asked him, did he want to come and introduce himself? And he walked up to me and said in my ear, "For what?" in the in the in the nicest South Africanist uh, uh, accent. He said, "For what?" Clearly, he was quite frustrated. So he was excited with me to go to the ungala. And so while we went to lunch, we had spoken, and he said, "You know, we could leave. We really don't have to stay. Everything is over. We don't have to go to the ungala. We could just go home." So I said, "I think that's a wonderful idea. Let's just go home. We are tired." So it was our intention that after the session was over, we were going to leave. So we said, but we have to get dressed in our purple and gold like we planned, and so that we could take pictures with everybody, and then we're going to leave. So we're all ready, and we go to take the pictures, and Her Majesty says, "Oh, we straightened that out. Um, you will be attending the gala." And so as we sat next to each other, we both said we were so excited about the ungala. We sleepy. We ready to go home. But I'm glad we got a chance to sit through hearing the descendants of Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass. So we listened to all of that, and there was a man who was the mayor of Alabama, who created the Council of Mayors conference, where it's just a conference of all mayors, and it turned 40 years old. And I'll tell you why that's going to be significant when I tell you what happened later. um, he talked about why it was important for us to for him to get the mayors together. And then there was so many other people who were awarded. There was a woman who created a bakery called the Pink Bakery, which creates baking items that don't have allergens in it, so that all people could enjoy baked goods. Because she remembered growing up with all these allergies and how she couldn't. Well, I think her revenue last year was $60 million.
Mhm.
Woman of color, right? Another woman that came up. He was honoring them. Millions of dollars these women have earned. And it really put in perspective, we talk about, I just want to be comfortable. I just want to make just enough for me and my family. How selfish is that, to just want enough? And there's another husband and wife who have made the multi-millions. He was the keynote speaker, Lamar Tyler of TSP. He is a sales scaling business who teaches business owners how to go from where they are now to where they want to be. He gave away so much in resources and then just kept speaking about these statistics and what we need to do and how we need to do it better and how we need to think about how important it is to get the money. Him and his wife were multimillionaires. They were the presenting sponsor, writing a check for $100,000. In order for you to write a check for $100,000, you have got to be positioned so well as a business person that $100,000 is not going to shake anything. And he said that was not a donation, it was an investment.
Mm.
And that they were ready to write the next check. He said tomorrow morning when we talk about next year's event. I'm looking at these people,
Mm.
multimillionaires in their prospective rights, men and women. Something has shifted. We cannot say, I just want to make six figures. It's not enough. That's just enough for you. And so after the gala was over, me and Estefano was walking hand in hand, and we like, we don't got to go to the after party. We don't got to go to the, we could go home. And so he said, I know, we're going to go home. And then Queen says, follow me um, to the after party. So we follow her and we say, we going to dip out as soon as opportunity presented itself. Estefanos said, listen, I got to go to work. I have to be to work tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I love you all. I'm out. He left. He left me. So I'm sitting with the queen and she says, come. Sit next to me. You can't leave sitting next to the queen. So I'm still plotting my exit. And then something in my spirit said, be still. Calm down. You're only going to go to sleep. You've missed sleep before. You're fine. So I just sat and started listening to the music. The DJ was really good, and the queen had her fan, and they pulled out the fans, and everybody was asking where the fans at. I've been knew where the fans at. I knew where the fans was at since I was 45, and the hot flashes started. I've been knew where the fans was at. So they start dancing and all that kind of stuff. Then I get a text message, and it's from my friend Melissa from Chicago that has the first black-owned cannabis company. And she says, "Are you at the conference?" I am. She says, "Oh, well, I'm here too." What? I haven't seen her since 2022. And then our other friend, she's like, we're downstairs at the bar. I said, well, you need to come upstairs to the party. They're like, what party? Nobody told us about a party. So I'm all excited because I'm going to introduce them to the queen. By now, it's like 11 o'clock. So they said, we don't know where you are. Come get me. So there's a Nigerian man, a very tall, dark, and handsome one, who said, I will guard you while you go. So he walked with me to get my friends. In the midst of getting back up in the crowds, the elevators was taking a long time and we were just waiting and waiting and waiting. And the next message I got was from one of the other cabinet members saying, the queen is tired, she's leaving. I said, please ask her to wait. I'm coming with someone she needs to meet. 10 minutes go by, 15 minutes go by. I'm stuck. I cannot get up the elevator. Eventually, I get up the elevator and they say, oh, the queen is coming down while you're going up. So I get back up and she's not there. I brought my friends to the section where we were sitting and she's gone. Not only is she gone, she's gone with my purse, my phone, all of my stuff. So now I have to go back down the elevators to get her. I told my friends, just stay, just stay, just stay. And so I go and get my stuff, a whole nother, I don't even know how long it was. I just remember thinking, okay, God, why did that connection not happen? And maybe it's just not time. I don't know. So I didn't think no more of it. My friends are having a good time now. Now they're at a party that they weren't invited to, and they're just having a good old time, dancing around, talking. Melissa is working on people knowing their blood type. So they had a vending booth there. I didn't know. They flew in from Chicago, and they had this vending booth there. I didn't see it. I only went in the vendor space once because I have a tendency to leave my firstborn child in vending places when I go, and I knew that I wasn't budgeted to be in a vending space buying clothes and jewelry and all, all the things that they do in there. And so I didn't see her. And so she told me that they had the number one booth. They were on the news, all kinds of things, because it was covered by the news. And just before we were leaving, before we got to the event, somebody stopped us and asked to interview us. And the queen was like, "You can interview all of us." Some gateway TV news place, and we were interviewed there, and I got to say Her Excellency one more time before the end of the night. So as the night is just wearing down, and then finally around 1 o'clock, everything is over. It's over. I'm like, yes, 1 o'clock. I could be in the bed by 2. Let me get. So we're leaving, and then we see the president of the National Business League, and Melissa wasn't in the when he was speaking and all of that. And so I introduced her to him, and she started to talk to him and ask him about his blood type. And so that led to her asking a couple other people on the way out. And because of how I was dressed in all of the nation's regalia in purple and gold with this purple and gold lace draped over me, my hair up in a crown type way. People kept stopping me and stopping me and stopping me and stopping me. And just when I got to the door, this woman stopped me and she said, "Queen, you are so beautiful." And I said, "Thank you." And she said, "What do you do? What nation do you represent? What country do you represent?" There were over 33 African delegates at this event. So I told her, and she said, "Wow, tell me more about that." So I did. I talked about our partnership with the Black Achievement Fund, where they are building on 112 acres of land here in Georgia. They are looking to raise, to get 10 million people to commit to $9 a month in perpetuity. $9 a month times 10 million people is $90 million per month. The goal with that is to build all of the infrastructure that we need so that we never have to go outside of ourselves to ask for any money. As a member, when you have things that you want to put together, you can go to the fund. We can build our own, we can fund our own. We don't have to ask anybody to sit at their table because we have built our own tables. She's like, "What?" We have a chemic club here that the Black Achievement Fund runs. And if anybody is interested in the Black Achievement Fund, you can go to BAF.solutions. So I'm like, okay, great. So now I told her all that and now I can go. And then she says, what else do you do? So I felt this like calming in my spirit. I felt like something was pushing my back to push me closer to her. So I tell her about the Healing House of Roses and what I'm looking for. She says, oh, that is so great. You need to speak to my friend, Monica. She said, well, let me tell you first who I am. I am the blah, blah, blah director and operator of the conference for mayors. And I help people to do things like what you are doing. And she said, you have to talk to my friend Monica because Monica wants to do something like that. And I told her I used to have the Healing House of Roses, but I'm going to rebuild it at the lake. Monica looks up and says, I know you. You have a house of love or something. I said, the Healing House of Roses. She said, yes, I've been to your house. I was there. I saw it. I was in it. I said, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. What's your name? She said, my name is Monica. Christopher brought me there. My friend Christopher brought you there? She said, yes. And your vision and what you built there was amazing and phenomenal. And then when I told when she heard me say what happened to the house, she said, I have a house that you can use right now to rebuild it. Right now. Right now. Right now. Right now.
Wow.
And suddenly, and
And
suddenly,
suddenly,
Yes, ma'am.
and
and
suddenly,
suddenly,
You were trying to go home.
I wasn't going to be at the gala, and I definitely wasn't going to be at no after party. So I'm sitting there, and I just feel tears well up in my eyes.
at the right place at the right
Here's
time with the
somebody
right
you don't even
people,
have to
the right
convince
place.
what you do because she's been in the house.
Now she's telling her experience to the other two ladies that are there. And then there's this other woman there, and she says, you need to talk to her too. And so I speak to her too, and she says, take my card, please call me, remind me. She said, no, send me a message and remind me how we met. Yes, ma'am. She was an ally. She did not look like me, but she was with them. Call me. Okay. So now I'm shook. All the way shook up. And they said, we're not leaving. We're going to the lobby. We go to the lobby. Now my shoes are in my hand. Her shoes are in her hand. And we convene to the lobby. Now it's all of us. Another woman, she has holistic products, teas, this, that. And she's like, take my number so that we can maybe talk about using my teas. And And it was probably, I don't know, 5 people at the end of it. And we sat and continued to talk, including my friend who's here from Chicago, talking to people about their blood type. And they were asking me like, what are you queen of again? And so, when I taught, they laughed so hard because I told them, now they've been knowing me since 2007, we determined. And she said, you're what now? Because now she can ask me all the questions because we was busy. I said, Prime Minister of Women's Rights and Empowerment for the Nation of Shira, Her Excellency Darlaina Rose. I said, but that's not even all. I'm also ordained as a minister in the state of Georgia as a part of the nation so that I can marry citizens of the nation. What? So then I told her, my name is Her Excellency Minister Reverend Darlaina Rose, PhD. You know what she said? I've been knew that. You are walking that. I've known you long enough to know that that has always been you. The world just has caught up and has given you your official, what you've been doing all along. She said, you've been Dr. Rose to me since I met you. And I'm sitting there and it's almost like I'm outside of my body now, listening to what people are saying, what they're offering, and how serious they are about call me tomorrow, please. And this morning, when I opened my eyes, because it was really tough to open my eyes this morning, and the woman with the house said there was a message from her at like 6:45, which I gather from the other messages that I got to say, I'm home, we're home, and see you tomorrow. We're all around the same time, 6 o'clock, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, that they were just leaving each other. Because when I left them at 4 a.m., they were on their way to the 24-hour diner, and I refused. I said, I'm not. I can't. I can't. And they sent me. We met uh, the woman who works with the mayor's group. Her husband is a Mega Psi Phi, and they started barking, and I knew who they were because they were barking, and it was a whole bunch of them. And so I ended up talking to one of the older gentlemen, and he was there with his 2 sons who are also um, uh,
Omegas.
yes.
Huge.
Yes. And so
You dogs.
having this whole conversation with him, and he's like, call me tomorrow. And so he left before they even decided they were going to go. Because I said, well, around here, the Metro Cafe is open. That's the first place I ever had my chocolate suicide cake that I love so much. That's the first place I got it from. And as a matter of fact, I brought it there for my birthday, the whole cake. And so he went there first. And then when my friends got there, he texted me. He's like, where are you? I said, en route home. He said, oh, you should have came. We put all the tables together. Now it's all of us. So everybody who I spoke to is now, including my 2 girlfriends, are now with them. And he sent me a picture of all of them at this table. And I'm thinking, that probably would have been nice, but I was already done. You have all been with me in this journey.
Yay.
And
Yay.
as this journey
I like it.
is unfolding, it is unfolding in a way that I could never have imagined. I got so much from the conference already. I was a speaker on the Black community and holistic health. I moderated women at the helm of change and business. So I was served and served, and also to lead this whole thing off with the delegation from Guinea. And when we first met them on Friday, the protocol was we weren't to touch them, no hugs, no shaking hands, no none of that, just a greeting. By the time we seen them on day two, they was grabbing us and hugging us and say, "You must come to Guinea. You must come to Guinea." The fashion teacher that came, the one who has the fashion school, she said, "You are my gal. You are so fashionable. I love everything I've seen you in." Because we've had to change our clothes twice every day. And she said, "You never miss," as the kids say. You never miss. And she's like, "I like this. I want this. This is amazing." So just all of that. So by the time they were get ready to leave, the prime minister said, "Please take my number. You must come to Guinea." I'm like, I don't even know if this is appropriate to take this man. Like, this man is like royalty. Like, I don't even know if I'm supposed to do this, but oh, okay. He said, "You have WhatsApp?" Yes, I was. And so all I know, especially after the woman who's been to my house, what is the likelihood that she would be there as a successful, mega successful woman with these other mega successful women?
It's God.
And for me to be able to stand there walking by them, it is not by quick coincidence or happenstance that she stopped me, that we had this conversation, and that this woman sitting over here in the cut, they tell her to come over here and
That
to
ain't
tell
nothing
her
but God.
what I do. And as I'm telling her what I do, she
That's
looks at
God.
my face and says, "I know you. I have been there. I've been to your house. I saw your vision. Your vision is huge, and there's no way you shouldn't be doing it right now."
That's God.
For
Yay.
her to say to me, "I have a space." We were talking about if we were going to Airbnb it and what we were going to do, but I just need you to come see it to see if it will serve your purpose. And first thing this morning, 6:45. Would you like to come see the space today? There's a shift. Things have shifted. Not only has it shifted in that way, but when I think about the money and what is required to build all of our stuff out, we have to rethink this. We have to rethink everything that what has been put on your heart to do. We have to rethink that. Rethink how you can level up whatever it is that you're doing. Somebody has your money. Somebody believes in your dream. Because I can only tell you that once I go see this space and then she talks to the other two ladies and they talk about it, and then whatever it is that's needed, I think I know that access to capital is next. And guess what? I have in these past 2 years made myself credit worthy for the right money. As I looked at house after house after house after house, I just said, okay, God, well, I guess you're going to find it. And then somebody said, I don't even know why you're worrying about it. Somebody might give you a house. I don't know what this is about to turn into. All I know is not only do I feel like something has shifted, not just this situation, not just this opportunity, but something in my mind, my body, and my soul has shifted in my belief. In my belief, not in God, but in my belief in what is possible for this little girl from 20th and Clearfield in North Philadelphia, born and raised. It shifted. I felt served, honored, and set in my rightful place yesterday. I felt queenly. I felt royal. And the funny thing was, the lady who was is the director of the mayor's thing. She had taken her shoes off, and her husband was like, "We're going to go eat," and she was struggling to get her shoes. I said, I was sitting like right across from her. I said, "Hand me your foot," and I put her shoes on and buckled her shoes, and she said, "Who are you, Jesus?" She was like, "I am keeping you." Those are my words that I say. She said, "I am keeping you." And the dress that she had on had it was a design of fabric in roses on both sides. I said, "I love your dress." And she said, "Oh, my husband picked this out for me." And I told him, I said, "Great job picking out a dress with roses." Right. And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Well, my name is Rose and I wear rose. So I just love anything that has roses on it." And he says, "Yeah." And so he says, tell me about yourself again." And so he was getting to, "Are you married?" And I'm like, "No." He says, "Oh, okay, good." He says, "I have some people that I want to introduce you to." "Do you now?" "I do." "Come on, baby, let's go get something to eat." "You got her number?" "Yeah, I do, baby." "Okay, baby, let's go." I don't know what's about to happen. I just know I'm going to put one foot in front of the other, and I'm going to trust God for whatever this is about to be. And I intend to take you all with me. I intend for you to see the unfolding of what God's promises has always been. The only thing that shifted was me in doing what I've always done. I did nothing different. I just showed up. And that is the battle. Show up, show up, show up in the space so that God can give you what He's supposed to give you. I was supposed to leave. And all I kept thinking was, had I left, I'd have missed it. All of it. Wait till I tell the queen what time I actually left. Because she told me goodbye and I love you at like 11 o'clock. Now, there are things still happening today. Today is the final day of the conference, but we have nothing to do today. So it was our goal not to go. So I'm like, oh, great. I'll get the rest before it's time for me to work tonight. Until my friends that are here said, oh, we're going to be here servicing people tomorrow. So you should meet us for brunch. I said, okay, okay. And my friends, they look at me differently now. I'm not the same person they saw in 2022. They're like, oh, thank you for the gifting, Miss Fifi. They said, we must speak to you. We must talk to you. We would love to build in the Atlanta market. Let's talk about what that looks like. Could you meet us for brunch? I'm sleepy, but I'll meet you for brunch. So that is uh, the things that has happened in the last 72 hours. I'm sure that there's something that I've left out. And I was writing everything out in my journal and all of the things, and I'm saying to myself, like, it's so much. Like, Lord, let me remember it all. Let me remember who I'm supposed to, call back, reach out to, and if I didn't get their numbers, make sure that they have mine, and that I don't miss any of these um, connections um, that were made. I know, Sherry, I need like late lunch dinner. For real. I need dinner. I don't need lunch. But I truly am so full. And my heart is just in gratitude for the unfolding of this all. And as I was going home, I was thinking about Christopher. I said, I can't wait to call him to tell him about this lady that he introduced me to at least 3 years ago. Because I left the Healing House of Roses on Hightower Street in 2022 and then created another one on Fair Street in 2023. So the last time she was in my house had to be 2021 or 2022. And I would see her yesterday. Well, today, because that was this morning. Officially this morning. So I am so grateful and so thankful. Thank you for allowing me to share what God is doing for us all. And it is truly, and I say it all the time, I am your evidence. I am your evidence. All you have to do is show up and watch it unfold. Conferences, events, classes, whatever it is. I have determined that I am going to learn French so that I could speak better with some of the delegations. Most of them speak French. Now, I thought I was going to learn to speak Spanish. That was what my thought was, because I knew 2 weeks ago I said I'm going to learn the language. And so I'm like, I'm gonna learn Spanish because I'm in America, learn Spanish. That could be helpful. Um, I think I'm gonna end up learning multiple languages. That's what I hear in my spirit when I think about it. But French is a priority to be able to speak to my Guinea friends now. They are my friends. They are my friends for sure. And so I'm grateful. And so, Manya, your face, I seen tears. I seen you just doing everything over there. Dr. Long, your mic is unmuted. Stop pressing buttons.
I don't see, I can hear you, but I don't see you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you and see you.
All right. Oh, you can?
Yes.
That's wonderful because the devil is a liar. You should see
Yes.
what's on my phone. Anyway,
Yeah.
we can jump in anywhere in that magnificent bundle of miracles that you're carrying around.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Um,
so
so go ahead,
everybody
Manya. What were
along
you
with
going to
me and
say?
help me out
Okay.
because I'm so glad you can hear me. I'm
Okay.
blessed going in.
Wait a minute, Dr. Long. We ain't say start.
What?
We ain't say start yet. Don't pray yet.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead, Manya.
No, I was just going to say you can learn both. You can learn, you're going to have to learn many because your journey is going to be multiple. So I'm learning French, Mandarin, and Spanish, teaching, with Duolingo. You're going to have to learn them.
Yeah.
And once you get the French and Spanish so close that you're going to have to, that you have to. It's not
Yeah.
even going to be an option for you anymore. You're going to need to know those languages.
And Mandarin did come up yesterday in the panel discussion because one of the women she created a insole that she was putting in very expensive shoes, and then she created it outside in like a flip flop that you can wear. It's available on Amazon, but it's only a certain sizes left. They're sold out. So she's talking to her manufacturer now to get more, and she said he speaks Mandarin. And then the lady from McDonough said that she has somebody that speaks Mandarin that will be able to help her. And I'm thinking to myself, Mandarin? And now you said it. Now
Yes.
you said it.
Yes, Mandarin, absolutely. If you just think of the largest, like Chinese, the Asian continent, like Spanish and Mandarin, they honestly are the most widely spoken languages. Yes,
Mhm.
of course, English, but if you know them, we're the only people that do not have a second language
Yes.
or a primary language. That just like everyone you met, I'm sure spoke at least two.
Yeah, yeah.
The
Well,
limit.
yes, and they were also talking about how Haitians have a home to go back to,
Mhm.
Jamaicans have a home to go back to, even Korean people, Asian, they have a home to go back to. African Americans are the only ones who don't have a home to go back to. When they say
Yes.
go back where?
Where?
Where can we go?
Exactly.
And so that means we're missing language and we're missing culture, and that was a conversation yesterday. Go ahead,
Yep.
Sherry.
Yeah, and the thing about French, there's so many different, as probably with Spanish, there's so many different dialects. So the training is to learn the basics so that you can understand what you're hearing, but you have to be amongst the people because there's so of all the languages there's a different dialect and a different emphasis
Maybe
on
English.
different.
Once you learn the main
Yeah.
one, once you learn the main, just you're correct. If as long as you know the basics, if you know Mandarin, just like how, Americans are more kind of ignorant, thinking that everybody should know their language. When you learn like Mandarin, it's like more widely spoken, just like there's certain that's more, and then there's other little dialects, absolutely. But they will know your language. They will know Mandarin before you would know like their pidgin language, they
Mhm.
would know how to speak, just like with Creole. They know French, but then they have patois. So it's like they have a little different parts, but
Yeah,
when you know it, you know it.
yeah,
And you're right with I remember there was Richard Pryor said it that he was in front of people and they were like, "Oh, make fun of the Chinese." And he was like, "I can't make fun of Chinese. They have a country. Like, like they have a place. Like
yeah,
we're the ones that don't have any place or any other place. Just everyone can go back to someplace else,
yeah,
but the African American.
Yes, absolutely. So there was a lot of talk about serving the diaspora and how we could do that, and it was just such great conversation, and I can't wait to I have voice notes and written notes and this note and that note and who to call and pictures of people's phone numbers and this and that. And there's a lady that I met, Queen Moot, M-U-T, and Queen Moot, I met her last year, and she's an older lady and she's very fussy, and so she fussed at me last year. And then she sees me again. She doesn't remember me, but she fusses at me again. But this time she says, I bet you know me now because I got 350 million in money. So tell me what you're working on now. So she said that early in the afternoon after she fussed at me. And then told me to take her picture, and she was like, you, and then I said, I remember you from last year. And then she said, well, where's the pictures from last year and where's the video from last year? Y'all should make sure that I got it or something like that. I said, I don't have it. And so I said, probably Queen Shantae may have it. And so she said, well, then you should help me get it because I'm gonna help you with some money. Like she really like went all off on me, telling me what I better do and this and that. And I just know she older, so I wasn't gonna do anything. Like I'm like, yes, ma'am, no problem. Yes, yes, and yes. So she was like, and you better call me too, so that I can help you with whatever you working on, cause I like you. As she fussed me the whole time she was talking to me. Go ahead, Sherry.
Yeah, and culturally, you're gonna have to learn how to discern who to listen to, who not to listen to, because a lot of people will claim power and they don't really have the power. You know,
That's
it's
Atlanta.
a lesson in
That's Atlanta.
discernment, especially I believe in African culture, because so many of them claim so much. Oh my God, when I lived in Paris
We don't attract
and,
them.
and had to kind of understand how the Nigerian men were moving and and their hierarchy of who is this and who is that. You really have to find someone you trust and
Already,
then ask
already
them
do.
to, yeah, explain that,
We
because
work in
you
Nigeria.
when you move through that cultural
Hmm.
experience, everybody ain't who they say they are.
Oh, that's in everyday life. We already know that. That's it. That's Atlanta. Am I lying,
that's
Mom?
that's
You're not lying.
Atlanta.
That's
No,
Atlanta.
you're not.
That's Atlanta.
That
That's
is
Atlanta. That's Los Angeles. That's a lot of places right here. So the discernment has been honed right
yes.
here. And not only that, we are so led by spirit. We do not attract those type of people. Every once in a while somebody might slip through the cracks, but for the most part, we do not. We do not. So I am so grateful. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you all. Like, I just really feel so shifted and so grateful for all that has shown up in these few days. And I can only imagine what today is going to bring. But whatever it is, I don't want it to bring it until 12 o'clock because I'm going to take a nap. So now, Dr. Long, please give us our prayer. We can hear you and see you.
Okay, praise the Lord, because I'm looking at a keyboard and Barrels by Smiley and Brenda Bryan on my phone. And Alan. Okay. I'm blessed going in.
I'm blessed going in.
Bless
I'm
going
blessed
in.
coming out.
Blessed coming out.
Bless coming out.
I'm blessed in the city.
Blessed in the city.
Blessed in the field.
Blessed in the field.
Blessed in the field.
We are always in the right place at the right time
Always at the right place, at
Always
the right
blessed in the
time,
right time.
with the right people,
the right
The
people,
right people.
doing the right thing
the right thing,
for the right reasons.
for the right reason.
And everything's in divine order.
And everything's in divine order.
As Jabez says, bless us indeed.
As Jabez says, bless us indeed.
Continue to expand our territory.
Expand our territory.
Extend an open hand of favor to us,
Extend an open hand of favor to us,
that we may do no harm.
that we may do no harm.
And we let go and let God.
And we let go and let God.
Then go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
And let the blessings and the money roll in.
And let the blessings and the money roll in.
What kind of money we got?
No, from the north, south, east.
Oh, from the north. Yeah, come on. From the north, south, east, and west.
Yes, from the north, south, east, and west.
From above and beneath.
From above and beneath.
Oh, from known and unknown money. Yeah, call that unknown money. Yes.
Known and unknown sources. Now we could tell you about the money. We have supernatural, unlimited money. So it's supernatural, unlimited seeds.
And we live and give out of God's overabundance, so we never run out.
Never run out.
We always have more than enough.
We always have more than enough.
More than enough to do anything our heart desires. More than enough to do anything God puts on our hearts to do for others.
Absolutely.
We have money to spend, money to lend, and money to keep.
Mm-hmm.
Because where's our bank?
Heaven.
And we're the branch banks.
Heaven,
Amen.
heaven. Before we go, Shanette, are you good? Are you finished? Are you done yet? I heard her say
I'm good. Not yet. Tomorrow. Tomorrow is my seventh school, the last school.
wow.
So then I'll be done. Oh my God.
Okay. And are you going to take time to decompress in Jamaica? Or
Yes,
okay.
yes, 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 I need to.
Yes, yes. You're gonna need to, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Barrels by Smiley, we are so proud of you, so proud of what you are doing. And I'm telling you that everything that we are all doing is going to be leveled up by these relationships that we now have and by the shifting of our minds for sure. So everybody
Okay.
have
Definitely.
an amazing day on purpose. I'll see you
You
tomorrow,
too.
same
Okay.
station. Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm glad you had such a good sojourn.
Yes.
Bye-bye.